Hi, I'm Lawanda Pulley, and we're here again with The City Speaks. First of all, we want to set the record straight. The City Speaks and the Halo Hand Foundation is not politically inclined. We're not Democratic, we're not Republican, we're not independent, but we are for aligning ourselves with any person or any organization whose mission enables us to further our cause in the community. We pride ourselves in being a leader in providing services to the community and making sure that the community is well informed about things that are going on. COVID-19 has been our initial cause, and we are partnered with many different organizations and many different communities to bring forth testing so that people can know their status for COVID-19 and to understand what they need to do to better take care of themselves. And yes, we're hosting now a lot of clinics outside of the Nash, Rocky Mount, Edgecombe area, but that's because these communities are our neighbors. They're our friends, they're our family, and where there's a need, the Halo Hands will be there to fill that gap. It is not that we are neglecting the Nash or Edgecombe County population. The clinic is open Monday through Thursday from 8 to 6, and any person is welcome to come to the clinic at any time to receive a COVID testing. You don't have to wait till a special event. We're here to serve you every day. We're open. So now let's get into today's guest. So you've met Robert here before where he talked about COVID-19, and today we just wanted to change the focus a little bit. We have not touched on Black Lives Matter or anything like that that has been going on because our primary focus has been COVID-19. Well, Robert is unique because he helped us to first shed a light on COVID-19, and now he's back with us today for us to talk a little bit about Black Lives Matter and things that he has experienced being a Black man and being incarcerated into the system. So, Robert, once again, we welcome you.
Thank you for welcoming me.
So just tell us, we're here today to tell your story.
Yes.
So I understand that COVID-19 helped get you out, but you were in for wrong, okay?
Yes.
For something that you didn't even do.
Yes.
So tell us your story.
I was convicted in Chowan County, Edenton, North Carolina, for a crime that another individual committed, and the person that he robbed was my best friend. I was working for Maurice Illy, M&M Motors. I worked with Maurice from 2003 up until 2015 until this event happened on March the 12th, 2015. Individual supposed to have been my best friend, Horace White, robbed him. And during the course of this, by me being a convicted felony, they looked at me as I was the one that did it.
Prime subject.
Yes, told me they said, well, I became I became a suspect. But okay, I tried to explain to them, if I worked from this man from 2003 up to 2015, I never took nothing from that man. Why would I take anything from him when he give me anything that I want? I had everything that I needed. So anyway, while they're investigating the crime, the individual that committed the crime was in the process of trying to commit another crime in Windsor, to rob the sweepstakes. So the officer, Ricky Morris, chases him down, takes his cell phone. Go through his cell phone, and in his text, him and his wife was talking about the crime he committed March the 12th, which was 30 days prior to that. So he was arrested. Then they arrested me like 30 days later. They took 2 cell phones from me. They go through my cell phones, get U.S. Cellular to dump my cell phone, retrieve all the information out of it. They retrieved all the information out of his cell phone. Nothing in my cell phone was incriminating related to this crime, which I was locked up. They put me on a $400,000 bond, which I made bond. I got out. I hired an attorney. And the attorney that I hired, Mr. Summy, he knew the person that committed this crime. So during the course of this, all right, I'm trying to talk to my lawyer, explain to him, like, there's evidence to prove that I'm innocent of the crime. Mr. White, the initial person that committed the crime, he gave a statement to the police, the district attorney, his lawyer, and told him, he admitted that I was not with him, but you go and rob somebody, he had an accomplice with him, but he tried to tell them he don't know who it was. So who go rob somebody and not know who the person is with you?
That's right. You ain't gonna pick a stranger up off the street
And you know,
let's go do this
yeah,
thing.
and that's common sense. So he stays in jail for a year. I end up, my lawyer threw me under the bus in Martin County, which is a redneck town. All right, he lied. I got proof for that. They convicted me for a DWI charge over there because of my medical records they obtained illegally, which they couldn't do that. He tells the people, oh, they can do that, tell my family. They can do that, they can do that. So, okay, once Mr. White found out I was locked up in the system, he works with the DA in Chowan County to try to get out from under this crime. So here's the thing about it that, you know, that why I feel bad about the situation is this man literally go rob an individual at gunpoint. They get the gun, and he's a convicted felony, and they do nothing to him. They don't get no gun from me, no nothing. And then he admits to it.
But yet and still you do the time.
But I do the time, and this man walking out here committing other crimes that he got cases pending in court right now. And you know, my life, 2 years, well, actually 4 years of my life were thrown away because the attorney and this individual.
Okay, so let me ask you a question now. So in light of everything that has happened to you in your life and everything that's in the news now with Black Lives Matter, what's the answer? How do we fix this? Is there a fix?
Yes, because I think that individuals that commit crime, they need to stand up and face the consequences for the crime they commit. So here's the way that white officers use the blacks at. They get the blacks to help them just to get them in the position where they want to be at.
So Robert, this is my question to you. You've lost 4 years of your life. How has that impacted your future at this point right now?
It has, because, you know, by me getting sick in prison, if I wasn't wrongfully convicted, I wouldn't have ended up getting sick. I can't say that, but they put me in a situation that I was around people with COVID-19 that which affected me, affected my life as well as my health. So, you know, even though I overcome it, but still by having a stroke and all of that, you know, that put a big effect on my life as far as job-wise and all of this. And like I say, they put you out here and then the state don't want to do nothing for you. And they look like just push you to the side.
Have you gotten any benefits for anything? Have they done anything?
No more than at the time that I was in quarantine, they paid for everything as far as food, housing, all of that. That was probably for 2 weeks, maybe 20 days. Other than that, they give you food stamps. But what is that? You can't buy anything with that other than food. You know, and I got social, I have Medicaid pending with my hospital bills because the state, they paid the first hospital bill for Rex Hospital in Raleigh. But other than that, it's just been pending. And it's been like, they said it'd take like 90 days. So I'm just going through the process to see what kind of answer they're going to give.
Okay, so as far as services about helping you get back on your feet and helping you to regain your place in the work world and being a productive citizen, you've gotten no assistance.
No assistance. And that's just the way it's been. Mostly the support that I get is from my family. You know, I have limited friends.
Okay, so we want to thank God for strong families, strong
Yes.
Black families, you know, to stand behind our people as we return to the community. But as far as the community, I mean, none of the businesses in the area or anything, you know, no offerings for jobs, no?
Well, basically in Bertie County, there's not a lot of jobs, anything like that. I go to Raleigh a lot. I do mechanic work, so I have a lot of job offers like in Raleigh. I got a best friend that live in Raleigh, so if I go up there and work, you know, he assists me with that because, you know, because of my condition. And that's how basically I make my money. And I got a cousin that live up there, so I'm pretty much good.
But as far as the reentry programs. Now, I know the state has a reentry program that's supposed to work.
Yes.
Nothing from the reentry program.
Nothing from the reentry. And, you know, they don't have any of that around here. So in order for me to go to that, I have to go like Raleigh up that area in the eastern area or the western area part of the state. But far as with that, I talked to my parole officer about it. I tried to enroll in school, to go to school, nothing. Which I finished school before I was released. I graduated with 4.0 average from culinary arts and carpentry last year, cap and gown, from Hillsborough. Well, it was from Piedmont Community College. And while I was up there, I was being assisted with help until I end up at Noose. Because when the judge vacated my sentence, I didn't go back to Hillsborough. I end up at Noose.
So them placing you at Noose put you in a further detriment because there was no assistance available to you.
Yes, and endangered my life, as well as the people at Noose Correctional. They not trying to do nothing for nobody, help nobody, or assist nobody. It's just like a baby born into the world. You take and just throw them in a bed and just let them lay there. They got to go for themselves.
Okay, well, now for you to understand this, this isn't something that is an isolated case. We have found that east of 95, in the rural community here in North Carolina, there are limited resources, not just for state prisoners, you know, or local prisoners like yourself, but there are absolutely no resources for people coming out of federal prison to return to help them with the reentry back into society. And that's a great discouraging factor for the rural community. So how do they fix this? How do they fix?
All right, well, the federal government, they fund money that I do know for inmates or prisoners that's getting out of prison. But, you know, some people, you know, don't want to take advantage of it. And like I say, for the rural part, there's nothing. And what they do with that money, nobody knows. But, you know, like you go up like Raleigh, Durham, Greensboro, they got programs for people that's coming out, reentry programs as far as going to school. They'll assist you with housing, they'll assist you with clothing, food, vehicles. And I do know this for a known fact that while at Hillsborough, several inmates left and they had organizations that helped them with get homes, vehicles, nice jobs, everything. But in my case, when I come to Bertie County, there's nothing.
Nothing in Bertie County.
Nothing. Bertie, the surrounding counties, Chowan, Hertford, they have nothing. They put you out there, and the only thing they try to do is just trap you off there. And as soon as something come up, they not trying to help you. They trying to dig a hole to put you in.
So this is one of the major things that's an aspect for Black Lives Matter, because if we go to prison for wrongdoings and we serve our time and we come out to be productive members of the community, we still don't have a support base. So how can you expect someone to be a productive person in society if you're not willing to help them? So it's almost like setting you up for failure.
Yes, that's what they do. They set you up for failure, and that's 100% facts there. And the biggest problem is it comes from your own color. And with things that's going on in society this day and time, like George Floyd, when they killed him, but you know, that's the only thing that'll get a black person to come together, to help one another. But before anything like that come, the only thing they gonna do, they gonna be the one to kill you. The blacks are actually, they the one killing one another. They the one sending one another to jail. Because if I know something, a crime committed, and an officer come to me, I don't have nothing to do with it. I'm not gonna tell on you. I'm not gonna send my own kind to jail or prison. You know, and they basically, that's what they do. They use them, they better their jobs and all of that. And like, you take the blacks, they don't go to school. They have offering to go to school, which the federal government will pay for it, the whole nine. The white children go out there, go to school, get paid, good money, get good jobs, and then guess who they giving all the police jobs to? The whites. And that's who killing the blacks. So they actually send them to school to grow up to actually come out here and kill a black person.
Wow. So now in the rural counties over there by you, in Bertie and Chowan and all those surrounding counties, what's the sheriff departments look like? You know, white, black, what are they?
Well, basically, Bertie County, John Holly, he's a black sheriff. I'm related to him, supposedly. But I can truly say this, they don't bother nobody. They don't go out and harass nobody, but you go to Chowan County, that's all they do. They racist, prejudice. Martin County, the same way. They racist, prejudice. The whole sheriff department, police department, all of them. They get an opportunity, they'll do the same thing to a black person that happened to George Floyd. I had one of my best friends years ago. They bust him in the head, put the dog on him. He was handcuffed. And the officer sicked the dog on it. Dog bit him in the head, he had to end up and get stitches and everything. But you know, people over there so laboring under the law and so ignorant, they don't know how to go by doing things. And you know, they do things and they get away with it until you know you put an end of it. That's just like I say, when I was wrongfully convicted over there in Chowan County, they know this. They took my personal property, I done called for it, they claiming they don't have it, and they owe me. And you know, and I want what belonged to me. And you know, because I'm seeking justice, and I'm not gonna give up.
That's a good thing. Keep the fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna fight to the end, especially when I know that I didn't do anything. And the person that got robbed, he knew I wasn't the one that did it. He even came to court with me. So where is the justice?
Where is the justice? That's a good question.
And like I say, you know, when they holler about black lives, whether you kill a person or whether you send a person to jail, a life is a life. You taking their freedom, you taking their life. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, basically.
So in other words, black lives need to matter regardless to where they are.
Whether it's justice or whatever or wherever you at. You know, black lives should matter. And you got a lot of white officers out here, they don't care about nothing. And from being in prison, I've seen the same thing in there. You know, that they come in because they got a badge, a little authority, they come in and they think they can just control the blacks, beat you up or whatever. But when it comes to white or arresting white people, they don't do that. They don't do that, period. And if you reflect back, like the girl that they killed, the officer killed, they claim she hung herself. No, nothing was never looked into it. And I heard several cases that was out west where they just killed people, like the dude in Raleigh that the officers beat up. And this here happened last year. He ended up getting a settlement, was $85,000. He got the money one day and did the next day. So now they don't prosecute the officer because this man did.
Nobody to testify against him.
Nobody to testify against them.
Wow.
And you know, and they do it, and when it comes up, you don't have a black officer even involved in this.
Let me ask you this. Would it be better for blacks if they had more knowledge of the actual process and what their true rights were and how things were supposed to go in the legal system?
I think it would, because if they would, you got an opportunity. I ain't gonna say I'm the smartest in the world, but I can guarantee you I can go in that courthouse and know more than half of what them lawyers know and judges.
So I can understand. A lot of us go and we get charged and then we have a public defender. Would it be beneficial for people to not just have a public defender, but also a public advocate?
I think so, because a public defender, he gonna work with the state. They gonna pay him regardless whether he win your case or not. But you got an advocate or a support team, somebody that's willing to support you and be there for you, it's gonna be better. And you know, I'm not gonna say all public defenders is not gonna be with you. Some of them gonna fight, they gonna keep their reputation, but you got some, they just in the business for the money. So it's all about money, it's not about justice.
It's about a plea.
Yeah, it's about a plea. And they'll tell you, that's how the state get most conviction. They know they ain't got nothing on you, and the first thing they do, they'll involve your family, and then first thing they tell them, oh, he gonna get 40 years if he don't take the plea, this and that. That's how I end up going to jail. Listening to my family, because I wasn't gonna take no plea. I requested a jury trial. And to this day, they can take my case to trial right now, and you got the appropriate people in there that's not crooked, I'll walk out scotch-free. Because there's no way they can find me guilty for none of the crimes that I was sent to prison for.
Wow.
None of them, and that's facts. That's how you gonna convict a man of a crime that another man confessed to committing and stated that you wasn't there with him. Regardless of what he did, if I knew about it, it's not my job to tell the police nothing. And that was one reason that they got mad with me, because an incident happened with this same person. They tried to get me to set him up, tell me they'll pay me $500. And I told them, you're not about to pay me nothing, because $500 ain't even worth me getting involved in, or worth my life or nobody messing with my family. So one thing leads to another. So when I don't assist helping them, next thing you know, okay, well, this is what we'll do. Whatever come up, we gonna lock him up. So that's what happened.
So we know your story has been on the local news now and been in the newspaper. So what's next in your fight?
To get a good lawyer and make the state of North Carolina pay me, as well as Chowan County. And basically, because like I say, people need to know, they lock people up there in that county for nothing.
So we need to do some more investigation, not just into current events, but into sheriff departments as a whole, or rural law enforcement. We need some more guidance. We need some more guidelines. We need some independent thinkers to help right the injustices in the rural community. Robert, I want to thank you for being here with us today. I wish you luck.
Okay, and thank you.
You
And
know,
I really appreciate your help and support as well.
you know we stand with you.
I know that's right. But I
Stand
did
with you.
want to share that story, though.
Oh, I forgot about the story.
Yeah.
I am so sorry. So we're going to take a little break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to let Robert share his story with you.